Well, it is once again time for weather with Nebraska Extension Ag Climatologist and Market Journal Chief Meteorologist Al Duncher. Well, Al, when we're out at the Christmas tree farm, sure felt like Christmas with those frigid temperatures. Is the cold weather here to stay as we turn to the week ahead?
Well, Bryce, we have seen that roller coaster ride over this last week, and in fact, we did see a little bit of light accumulations of snowfall and a little bit of freezing drizzle across portions of eastern Nebraska during that Tuesday, Wednesday time frame. Looking at the cumulative snowfall totals, it looks like a broad-based 2 to 4 inch totals across the southern half of the Panhandle, portions of the southern Sandhills, and parts of northeast Nebraska. But as you move to the southeast of that region, it really dropped off significantly in a lot of locations in the trace amounts to in the inch and a half amount of snowfall. So we did see a little bit of precipitation, but nothing that's going to be a drought buster. And unfortunately, we're going to continue this roller coaster ride. We've got several more waves that are going to move through the region. The question is, can we get any significant moisture out of them? And right now, it doesn't look very promising. So let's go to the upper air models and see what we have in store. First thing I'll draw your attention to is that cold front that has come through, bringing the cold air, shifting through the state. We'll keep our temperatures fairly cool, at least for the first half of this weekend, as we'll be looking at primarily lower 30s northeast into the upper 30s to the southeast, and maybe even the low 40s across the southwest. But more importantly, as we go to tomorrow, we'll start to see that upper air trough moving toward the east. That's going to allow a little bit warmer weather into western Nebraska first, and then it'll eventually make it in to eastern Nebraska. But we'll be looking primarily at upper 30s across the northeast where the colder air is in place, lower 40s across much of southeast Nebraska. You get into southwestern Nebraska, we're probably pushing up into the mid to upper 40s. Unfortunately, we see that big trough over the western United States. That will start to become a player as we go into next week. And as we get into Monday, we're going to start to see that trough kind of stretching out, and then it will slide toward the east. So we're going to have some downsloping flow before this front comes in. So we'll start to see some clouds developing in western Nebraska. That'll bring our temperatures basically into the lower 40s to upper 30s. Farther toward the east, where we'll be a little bit more warmer air, we're probably still looking at the mid to upper 40s across the southern half of the state, and the upper 30s to low 40s across the northeast. And as we get into Tuesday, we'll start to see that trough starting to elongate, starting to shoot some Pacific moisture into the region. It doesn't look like much in the way of moisture, but we also have another cold front coming down with the northern stream that's going to be pushing through the North Dakota, South Dakota region. That's going to enforce the cold air, and we'll be looking at widespread temperatures dropping about 5 to 10 degrees across the state, and maybe even a little bit cooler as we get into the day on Wednesday. As we get the brunt of that cold air across eastern Nebraska, we'll start to warm up across western Nebraska. Nothing in the way of moisture to work with, so we're probably looking at more of flurries and light accumulations. I would expect if we see any accumulations, they'll be under 2 inches. As we get into Thursday, that trough off the west coast is going to rapidly shoot a piece of energy in the southern stream, and this one is going to come across Nebraska. So we are going to see a little bit of a warm up with that cold air dissipating out. We're also going to be dealing with some cloud cover. And with this cloud cover, we're probably going to hold our temperatures down a little bit across the southern part of the state, but we still should see 40s for pretty much the entire state. And as we get into Friday, the system rapidly moves across the state. Once again, we'll probably see light accumulations, but there is a potential, again, for freezing drizzle as we get warming air overrunning. So overall, going farther out, next Thursday, the following Tuesday, colder than normal conditions. And in terms of precipitation, pretty much near normal.